Hi everyone. I made myself some tea, so I'll be right back. Okay? Don't go anywhere. Or I'll put some music on for you guys. Hmm.
Bye, honey bear.
Okay. Okay, let's see if I see you guys now. Okay. Getting some tea. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so who's with me? Say hello, so I don't feel so like I'm talking to myself. Hi, Chris. Coach. Hi, Christina. Okay. Thumbs up. Hi, Suhail. Hi, Carmen. Okay, I'm gonna lower the music. Or just shut it off completely. Okay. The music puts me in the mood. So, Carmen, I'm taking your advice. No music this time, okay? So today we're talking about abundance. Abundance. Okay, so this topic is something that, if you remember from the first, let's recap from the first video, right? So abundance is, first of all, we need to bring in abundance into our lives by the way we think about abundance. Okay, so some people think that abundance is not tangible. Some people think that abundance is something that actually is something that's like, it's like something like, okay, we're creating abundance over here, but we don't really understand what that means. So the thing is, your cognition of how you think abundance is very important. Okay, so what you think, how you perceive abundance is really important. So I want you to take a little notebook right now. We're going to be very practical in this one, okay? No crying, I promise. I want you to take a little notebook. Here's my little notebook. And you need to write down all of the things that you think are abundance to you. That's the first step, okay? So let's write that down. All the things that you think in your life is abundance to you. Okay, so write down your notebook, and if you want to write it down here so you can share it with your friends too. So, And the reason why we're doing this is because once we are clear on what we think is abundance, then it's attainable, because it becomes a vision, and this vision is something that you can manifest with. So if you just say abundance, but you don't really know what that is, then there's no clarity around it. And you cannot put the vision to the abundance, you see. Everyone always talks about abundance, 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 but what does that mean to you? Abundance to me means something completely different to you. Each of us have our own version of abundance, right? Abundance can mean to someone, I want my own car, and that doesn't mean what kind of car, it just means a car, right? But then someone else might say, abundance to me, I want a Range Rover. Let's go big. Okay, and so then you need to talk about what kind of Range Rover that is. Be specific. The type, what kind of wheels does it have? What color is it? How much does it cost? You need to be specific. Okay, so the more specific you are actually with your visions towards abundance, the easier it will be to manifest. I promise you. And I only say this because this is through my own experience, that anything that I had was very clear on exactly what I wanted, it manifested. And it manifested fast. There was not like this process, and it just happened. So I want you to start giving details. Write down each thing, and then after each thing, I want you to write down the details, exactly what that means and exactly what that looks like. So if you want like your own house or your own apartment, what does that look like? Okay. Now, of course, we need to be realistic too. Okay. We can't say, oh, I want to live in space. Okay. Okay. That could be something that's in fairy tale, but let's be realistic. Okay. So realistic can mean like, I like to have crystals in my room. That to me means abundance. What kind of crystals? How big are they? How much do they cost? Write these things down. Where would you get them? These. Okay, and we're back. So, yes, Chris, so what's wrong with living? There's nothing wrong with living in space, but guess what? That's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. So if you want to do that in this lifetime, it might not be in this lifetime. It might be in the next lifetime. So think about the things that are reasonable, okay? You set your goals and where they're reasonable, and then you can, pump them up even more. But start where they're reasonable, where that you don't have to make your goals so high that you can't. It's almost virtually impossible to reach them. Okay, so like I can't say I want to be a basketball player. I'm 5'3". And I'm, I know I could play. I could shoot some hoops, but there's definitely no way that I'm going to be a basketball player. Okay, so we need to be realistic. We need to be realistic of what we want. Okay, do we have a scrunchie? No. Okay, so so that's let me take this off because I'm feeling hot. So you need to write those down, and once you write those down, you know, I want you to maybe look at them, and I want you to save this because we're gonna be thorough here, okay? So once you've written those down, I want you to write down why, or if there is feeling behind these things that you want, okay? If there is a feeling of guilt or a sense of not worthiness, not worthy, unworthiness to actually receive what you desire. Okay? So let me rephrase that. So after you've written down all the things that means abundance to you, and with specific detail, I want you to write down afterwards, where is it, or if there is any feeling of unworthiness or guilt in receiving what you desire. Okay? This is a big one. Okay? There's so many people that tell you, you can manifest whatever you want, here's the goal, do these, you know, say this mantra, do this, do that. But guess what? If there's any inkling in your mind and you're speaking out to the universe, any part of you in your body that has resistance or guilt or unworthiness towards this desire, you will not receive it. You won't receive it. It's just, it won't happen. I promise you it won't happen. So, what do we need to do to change that? Okay? But first, let's write down all those things, the guilt. I'm going to give you guys some time, and if you feel like sharing here, I will focus on you specifically. So you can share on the chat, and I will work it out with you if you want me to. Okay? Some of you feel like it's too personal. But if you're open, you can share with me, and I will work it out with you personally, with everyone that's watching. Okay? So go ahead, write it down. I'm going to give you guys some time. In the meantime, I'll drink my tea. And by the way, this is very good tea. This is turmeric tea. And as you guys know, turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. And it says, Earth laughs in flowers. Look at that. Earth, and I'm always talking about flowers, and it's just perfect, isn't it? Earth laughs in flowers. I love that. I guess you guys will never forget that one. Okay, so what is it? What was the question? It got cut off. Okay, the question, well, there was two parts, okay? The first question is, what do you want to manifest? And I want you to be specific to the details. So if you say, I want to manifest on getting a new car, I want you to tell me what kind of car is it? What does it look like? What are the details? How much does it cost? What dealership would you actually get it from? Okay, so be specific. The second part of that is there any guilt or unworthiness towards this desire? Okay, and if there is, what is it? What is it? That's the third part. But let's just do the first two parts. If there's any guilt towards the desire, and what is the desire, and be specific. Okay? Okay. So if anyone wants to share with me what that is, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I'll continue. And by the way, some of you are in the New York area. Abdi Electricité is coming this weekend. It's coming the 21st. This weekend, sorry, not this weekend. It's coming the 21st. I think it's Thursday. So if you want to experience Abdi, he's the guy that activated me. You should definitely come. I'll post it on my wall at some point today, or you just go to abdi.info, www.abdi.info, and you can find the New York gatherings, and it starts at 6:15 and ends at 9:15. There's 2 sessions. 9:45, sorry, 9:45. So it's an evening, they're both evening sessions. So come. I highly suggest you come, and I will be there. And you get to give me hugs. So come. Okay. So let me see if I got any feedback from you guys. All right. No feedback yet. So can any of you share with me when we feel this fire, what else do we need? Oh, it's true. You see, we need abundance, okay, because it fulfills us in this 3D experience. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. If we were just meant to be in bliss state, in samadhi, then we would just be in samadhi. Do you understand? Because I know some of you, if any of you don't know what samadhi is, where is the event? It's in Upper East Side. It's on the Upper East Side at the Jen House Church. It's on 71st, between 1st and 2nd. That's the Abdi sessions. Okay, so if we were just meant to be in samadhi, samadhi means like in a state of oneness and bliss. And honestly, you can't do anything in samadhi, okay? You literally just need to be in a meditative state. There's no interacting with the world, period. There are no relationships. There's no beauty. I mean, the beauty is only within, but there's nothing outside of you, okay? And there's no abundance. It's all inside of you. But guess what, guys? Everything is inside of you anyway, but we need to master this plane, okay? We need to master this plane. If you cannot master this plane, you cannot master in here. And I'm telling you this from my own experience, okay? I know so many people that have this, energy, and they're very, they're very meditative, and they have all these gifts, and yet at the same time, they cannot master anything on this plane. Nothing. Their life is in shambles. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? So the whole thing is that I'm teaching you here, okay? I'm actually saying these words, teaching, because you know me, I'm very against that I'm teaching you. But I am actually teaching you today, okay? And I'm teaching you this because it's a teaching, because in lifetime after lifetime, you are relearning what you need to know. You need to adjust to the reality, okay? Every lifetime gives you a different reality, and this reality, this lifetime, is giving you this experience, and so you need to adjust. And so for us to be sustained in this reality, in this lifetime, we need to learn how to be abundant. Okay, this is part of the Venus tribe. This is what the Venus tribe is. Okay, we are training ourselves to manifest what we need to become the new humanity. If we are all desolate and have nothing, then how could we give anything to anyone? If we are starving, then how could we share with anyone? Okay? So, again, your version of abundance is different from my version, is different from Lena's version, from Iris, from Chris, from Andres, from Christine. Everyone has their own version. Everyone has their own version. But it means that you are able to sustain yourself in this reality. And if it also means to help sustain others, then you need to gain more abundance, right? So how many of you completed how many of you completed what I asked of? Okay? And how many of you had some aha moments like, oh, wow, there was a lot of unworthiness towards this desire? How many of you have that feeling? I know there's a delay, so I'm just going to give it some time. Okay, so Chris says, abundance of love and joy in my relationship with my partner. Abundance of love, joy, and support for my future son. Perfect. Be specific though, Chris. Be specific. What does that mean exactly? How does love, joy, and support look like? Okay? Be more specific. I want to manifest, I want to receive income through my passion marketing. I have consulted company for that, and I also want to become a great teacher. Okay, Lena. Okay, perfect. So set those up on your notebook. Write them down. Write down what they look like, how much they'll cost, what you need to do to gain that, whatever it is, all those details. And then if there's any cognition of how you feel, if there's any guilt or unworthiness towards receiving those desires. Okay? Okay. So now, when you guys are done with that, because we only have an hour here, but you could do this on your own time. Okay? I'm just setting you guys up. I want to live in the frequency of abundance in all areas of life, health, love, money. Okay. Okay, Christina. Good. So I want to manifest financial freedom as a graphic designer, freelance online that supports my nomadic lifestyle. Good, Iris. Okay. So now, okay, that's good. Those are good, but you guys need to be more specific. Okay? Need to be more specific. What does that mean, financial freedom? How much? How much is that? Give me a number, or give yourself a number. Give yourself also, I want you to write down all the things that mean, what does that mean, support your nomadic lifestyle? Where do you want to go? And how much is that going to cost? If you have so many years left in your lifetime, write down all the places you want to go, scatter them all throughout your life and all the years that you have left, and see how much money that is going to cost you every year. Okay? And Christina, for you want abundance in all area, health, love, money. Okay, so be more specific. What does that mean to you? Health. What is it in your health? What does that mean? Do you want to, I don't know, be more fit? And if that means be more fit, does that mean you're going to go to the gym or do yoga? Or are you going to go running? Is that going to, is that costing you anything? And it costs us no matter what, our time or money. Wherever you fit that in your schedule. There's all these factors that you guys need to write down. You need to be specific. Okay, so let's see, 5,000 a month. Okay, 5,000 a month. Okay, so then you need to figure out how you'll make that money. But first, I need you to look at yourself and think if there's any guilt or unworthiness towards that. Okay? I want you guys look at that. I want to reach a steady income of $5 million a year, which allows me to have my own farm and grow my own food. Okay, $5 million a year. Well, how much do you make now, Christina, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, abundance of love in my partner and future son to me. And why is it $5 million? That's what I want to know. Why is it $5 million? Why can't you live off of $500,000 or $1 million? Why does it have to be 5 million? Have you done math, or is it just like just throwing numbers out there? Um, I also want to have abundance of people resonate with me. Okay. Okay, so you guys, you have these lofty goals. They're very broad, but you guys need to be specific. Okay? Why are you picking these things? What does it mean? Like a trust, openness. Okay, these are all great, but what does it mean? What does it mean? Okay, what does that mean to you? What does trust look like? Okay, what does love look like? What does support look like? Okay. All right. Receive 4 to 5K a month working on part-time projects. Okay. Good. All right. I see some of you getting a little bit more specific, which is good. Okay. Freedom. Okay. So again, be specific, because guess what? These words like support, freedom, the universe doesn't know what that looks like. If you don't know what that looks like, guess what? The universe doesn't know what it looks like either. You need to be specific. So I'm not going to say that anymore. So now that you've been specific, you've looked at if there's any unworthiness or guilt, okay, towards this list of yours. Now I want you to look at where you received this feeling of guilt, where you received this feeling of unworthiness. Has it come from something you learned? Has it come from an experience? Okay, this is the hard part here. Okay, it's very easy to list off a bunch of things. And then, of course, oh yes, there is some guilt, there is some unworthiness. But now this is the hard part, right? I want you to list why you receive, now you have guilt or unworthiness towards this desire. Okay, where does it come from? Where does it come from? Does it come from your parents saying, money doesn't grow on trees, you can't do this, why do you need a Mercedes? Or, I don't know, whatever it is. Why do you need $5 million for? And, or maybe is it because everybody around you is very abundant and you're not. And so there's a feeling like you can't make it. Look deep into these feelings, and most of all, patterns, because guess what? These kind of things, these kind of feelings, unworthiness and guilt, they travel with you in all areas of your life. This is what abundance is, right? It covers all areas of your life. And it does travel with you in all areas of your life. Yes, Lena, I'm reading your comment right now. What, Chris, you're saying, what if there's none of what? None of what? Because guess what? If there is a goal, okay, and there's feeling of, there's a feeling of, I need to reach this goal. Oh, there's none of guilt. Okay, what about, okay, that's good, okay, but you might, okay, so this is what you're thinking right now, right? But guess what? You have patterns. We all do, okay? You have a pattern in which you have set, okay? Everyone, all of us do. We all come in and we've learned them. And it's through usually our teachers, our parents, our siblings, our friends, society, our bosses, etc. Okay? And we learn these patterns, good or bad, good and bad. And there's some things in our life that set us back. Okay? None of us are perfect in that sense of that we don't have any patterns. Okay? That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're here to have these soul lessons to release and alchemize our patterns. And that's basically what karma is, by the way. So there is something there for you. You're just not looking deep enough. Because if you look deeper, if you look even deeper, there is something there. And if I don't want, I don't want to tune into you because it's, it gets personal. So I just want you to look deeper within to yourself, okay? Think about when you were, okay, I am tuning into you right now. So think about when you were like 6 or 7 years old, okay? There's something that happened to you that you received a pattern that doesn't allow you to go full, let's say full throttle, okay? So, so go ahead. I want you to go into that and see if anything comes up for you. You don't have to share it here. You can just simply, go into it yourself. Okay, so what else is going on? Carmen says, I'd like to expand my business, be a stronger businesswoman, pick up more solid clients. Where we mutually, okay, perfect. This will take me to about, that's great. Okay, so what does that look like? What do you need to do to and why do you want to make, first of all, why do you want to make 5,000 a month? Okay? You need to come into conclusion of why do you want more clients and why do you want to make more money? Okay? Abundance is apparently, because we have all these goals, but what is it for? Right? What is it for? Are you just filling up your bank account? Do you just like working a lot? I mean, what is the money for? And why do you want to work so much? Abundance is apparently a new age term. What is the term and concept in Sanskrit? Okay. Abundance is a new age term. I don't know if it's new age. I don't think it's new age. Actually, abundance has been with us for a very long time. When here in America, we talk about Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is, we're all thankful for what we have and what we it's basically, it's a BS holiday, but essentially it's all about abundance. And this has been going on for hundreds of years. So it's, new age is now. This is now. New age is the now. And that's not new. That's pretty old. So it's not new age. It's real. Abundance is real. I mean, even in so let's go even further back. The gods and goddesses talked about abundance all the time. I don't know about Sanskrit, Andres. That's for you to research. But I'll tell you, abundance is something that the gods and the goddesses, that's part of their existence. They are abundant. So if we are becoming those gods and goddesses, if we're embodying that, then that's what we need to become. So your idea of abundance, there's a lot of resistance around this word for you, Andres. I see it. And you also need to realize why there's a lot of resistance. there might be this feeling of guilt and unworthiness. So let me see what else. My pattern is that things have to be a certain way to be accepted and generate income. Okay. Okay, you guys are all being very general, which is good. I guess you don't want to be, you don't want to be so personal, but you guys need to realize, why do you want to make, you're giving me dollar amounts, but why? Why do you want this money? What is it for? When you have the money, what are you going to do with it? Be specific. Be specific. Yes, Mother Earth is abundant. Absolutely. Abundance is not, abundance is probably the oldest word in our history. Abundance is everything. Abundance is creation in itself. So we need to realize, first of all, if there is resistance towards abundance, that's a big one. Okay? Because that is fear, guilt, unworthiness. Okay, so, and then you need to see why there is that. If you don't want to be abundant, then you should go and be in samadhi and go in a cave, because you will not be able to live in the world. Now, it doesn't mean you have to, be living in New York City or Tokyo or, I don't know, Hong Kong or wherever, You don't have to be living in these rich, super rich cities, nor do you have to live in a city. You can live in nature. And of course, everything is, for me, that's where the true abundance is anyway. I can't even relate to cities anymore. I don't see abundance there at all. I see slavery, actually, but that's a whole nother video. But to me, abundance is nature. And so we need to come we need to merge with that word, basically. That's what I'm trying to do here. I want you to merge with that feeling, with that energy of abundance, because abundance is an energy, okay? And we all need to realize that if we are not in alignment with this energy, then we won't receive it. It doesn't have to be difficult, nor does it have to be, nor do you have to, beat somebody up or try to race someone to the top. It's not a competition. It's simply for yourself and for the people around you, your family, your friends. Abundance makes us grow. Right? See, there's a lot of stigma against abundance too. And see, again, I'm going to refer back to Andres because I feel resistance. There's, when we think of people that are abundant, they're greedy, they're selfish, they don't seem very happy. And they have a lot of problems. But they deal with them with their abundance, with their money or whatever, and power, etc. But it doesn't have to be that. That's what we're trying to change. You see, we are the new humanity. We are the humanity of which we are going to change what abundance looks like. Abundance means to be fruitful, to share, to have freedom. That's abundance. And that's what the first video is all about, guys. Others, you need to watch that first video again, because that was how I introduced you to abundance. Because we first have to know what abundance actually means. And we have to be aligned to that. Once we're aligned to it, then we need to understand, what does that mean for me personally? Okay? So okay, good. So you're feeling good, Andres. That's good. That's good. So something's burning away. Okay? So now that you guys have written down these things, okay, now we're at the last part. And the last part is about, let me have some tea. My snowman mug. What is it? Let it snow. See? It's all about abundance. um, so the last part is first, so let's do the three-way part. First part is, what do you want from abundance? Be specific, okay? Second part, is there any guilt or unworthiness towards that desire, okay? And the last part is, okay, what pattern is it? What is the cognition? What is the thought pattern that goes through your head? Okay, if you have to self-analyze yourself, what is the thought pattern that goes through your head when you think about that desire? Okay, of course your heart says, oh, it's beautiful, I want, but then what does your head say? Oh, it's very expensive, and yeah, but I don't really want that. But it's too much work. Or well, what about if my sister gets jealous? Or I don't know, whatever thought pattern there is something there. There is something that's holding you back from receiving it. Okay? And you do this with a lot of different parts of your life. It's not just receiving that desire, it's also receiving the love of your life. Or anything, basically. Anything. So anything. Okay? So the way you think is basically suppressing you and not allowing for you to move forward. Okay? We all think, but I think so positive and I know what I want. Great. But guess what? There's some pattern in there that you're not looking at. Once you look at that pattern, you can dismantle it. And then suddenly things become more clear. And the goals are more attainable. Okay? So how are you guys feeling? We have about 10 minutes left. So how are you guys feeling now? Now that you've written all this stuff, I want you to guys go deeper, it doesn't stop here. You do your homework. This is the homework part, okay? So you write it down and write down your notebook, study it, study yourself, write it down, notebook, study it, study yourself, okay? And there'll be a third part to this. I'm going to do one more abundance video for you guys. So it's going to be probably past the date that I thought it was going to be. But I realized that this also needs another video. So who did you say, Chris? You're feeling like I want to talk to you more about 6 or 7 year old Chris. Oh, Chris, I want to give you a hug, sweetheart. And Lena, you feel like abundance, all types, is all natural state. Yes. Abundance of love, health. Absolutely. 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 I don't really have that much money right now, but I feel the most abundant in my whole life now. You know why? Because I have my health. I'm happy. I'm at peace. I have my daughter. I have my dog. And I have all of my family around me. I feel super abundant. Super abundant. Yeah. It's a feeling. It's that energy that we need to merge with. It's that energy. Yeah. So, but that means it doesn't stop me. Okay, life goes on. There's challenges, there's situations at hand, I want to move. I want to move. And so what does that mean? I need to make a little bit more money so I can move. I want to buy a house, lots of land, so my daughter can grow on a beautiful property in nature. So these are the kind of things that I want, I desire. And so my cognition on that, my ideas about how I'm going to get it, and if there's any guilt or fear around that, I need to dismantle. Okay? So let's see if any. Oh, there's so many. See, I have to keep scrolling the chat, otherwise I miss it. You know, I really admire you guys, and again, I always say this, but it's true. It's true. It's true. You're true. To to self-realize, because there's a lot of wounds opening up. You know, it's like having a band-aid on there and then taking it off, and it's like, okay, it hurts, but you're willing to go through it, and that's very courageous. So I give you guys a big up. So I want to take some time to kind of meditate on this, okay? So let's do some sort of energy transference. I'm going to put some music on. And again, go back and do your homework tonight, because the third part, I'm going to ask you guys more specific questions. So I want you to write down those 3 parts. It's very important that you self-analyze, you self-realize, okay? Because there's a lot of resistance around what we think of ourselves and how we think of ourselves, and it's okay. Of course, you should think very highly of yourself. But when you go into yourself and you start breaking down your patterns, that's really powerful, super powerful, you know. And that's really what I did in Cuba. I was just self-analyzing myself. I didn't care what the hell was going on there. I didn't even care about the ocean. I was just there to be in the energy and expand, so that I can look at myself more and grow. Yeah. Because guess what? I can go to Cuba anytime. Or not really, but I can go somewhere else that looks like Cuba anytime. Doesn't mean that I'm going to process and be in that state of consciousness where I can grow, you know. So it's, for me, that was really important. And it's important for me all the time. That's my daily, you know, that's how I wake up every morning, is how do I get better? How do I become a better human? How do I become better at being Val? How do I transcend my crap? And so I could be a better mom, a friend, sister, mother, all those things. All right, let's put some music on. Any requests? I was playing Ave Maria before. I think let's just play Ave Maria. She's been in my feels a lot lately, so. Maybe.
Bye, honey bear.
Okay. 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 If you guys are able to close your eyes, it's nice to. Thank you, everyone. I'll post the next Venus Tribe session here and through email. Have a good day.